Hi guys, I want to talk about something from way back. Me and my family went to Florida, Orlando, Florida in 1990 with me auntie and family members, and in 1992. Now it becomes a bit of a blur, but I do remember stuff. We went to Disney, Epcot Centre, Typhoon Lagoon, the swimming place, and all kinds of different places. And what I do remember in me is being mad on the Game Boy at the time, and the Game Boy games in America would fit the British Game Boy system. So I used to get a lot of Game Boy games, quite lucky actually. Play retro gaming. Well, we weren't called retro games, called video games, computer games back then, sort of thing. And it's called retro gaming now. Also, I collected the Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. We used to go to try and find Toys R Us. Well, there was quite a few Toys R Us there. Toys R Us, yeah, the classic Toys R Us that went into administration over here in the UK. Toys R Us, basically, they did the turtle figures. They did all sorts. They did the Game Boy games. That's when I saw the advert or the game for the Godzilla game on the NES. Or no, it was Godzilla game on the Game Boy again, where it looked really good on the front. Picture of Godzilla, looking on the back, and it's you play a little Godzilla and you're going around punching other little kaiju monsters, sort of thing. What else do I remember about America? Stephen was there, Jason was there, Paul was there. We all were there, all my brothers. We all enjoyed ourselves, enjoyed being spoilt and going to America, getting on a plane and flying out to Orlando, Florida. But we went to Miami, and when we got off that plane, I remember how heated it was. Like, you could hardly breathe because, like, the air was, like, that muggy. I was thinking, is this right? Is this right? Because not used, because obviously coming from Britain and stuff like that. But once you got used to it, it was all right. But we ended up in Miami, Florida. We went past places like Dunkin' Donuts and all kinds of big chains and stuff like that they've got over there. And like we've got over here as well, I guess. But just in general, America was a great experience. It was fun in a day. In 1990, that's the first time I saw It, the TV miniseries, because they put it on in two parts over 2 nights or 2 weeks or something like that. In 1990, we saw It for the first time, and boy, it was scary. Trying to go to sleep that night and just keeping one eye open, so to speak, going to bed that night, wanting to close doors, don't want to see any dark hallways. But I think what we had like open doorways as well in the house and stuff like that. We stayed in a really big house. We hired out like a van or something like that the second time around or the first time around. I can't remember, but oh God, it was a great experience altogether. And went to Typhoon Lagoon, like I was saying. Typhoon Lagoon is basically like a Disney resort where they've got waves and stuff like that. And apparently I nearly drowned and not good. It wasn't good. But this lovely American lady saved, because I was with her dad, and for some reason I got separated from my dad in the waves sort of thing. And this nice American lady came in, pulled me up, saved my life basically. So thank you. She was so kind. And my gratitude is ever so. Thank you. I'm going to say thank you for that and stuff like that. Typhoon Lagoon was a really good one because it had like its own beach area and stuff like that. And I like water. I like swimming normally when I go and stuff like that. And also the Epcot Centre, the science fiction Epcot Centre, as well as Disney in itself in Florida. Haunted Mansion, who could forget the Haunted Mansion? That was such a great thing in itself. Oh God, the Haunted Mansion, that was so. I love the music, the ghosts that you see in the chair with you. I know they've updated it all since then and stuff like that, but back then it was, I guess if a child goes now, they're going to find it just as magical. Seeing Mickey Mouse as well, Goofy, Donald Duck, Minnie Mouse, Chip and Dale. They had the parades as well. They had the parades with like Roger Rabbit and the rest of the Disney characters, Mickey Mouse, like I was saying. Also, they went to Universal Studios as well. We went on the E.T. ride, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles backlot sort of thing, Roger Rabbit backlot stuff sort of thing, and America was a magic experience. And I remember when we went the second time around in 1992, I remember coming back and I felt so depressed. I remember sitting in like science class, something like that, thinking, I wish I was back there, sort of thing. So it's gonna be a come down feeling, isn't it? It's, especially being on holiday. We went for 2 weeks at a time for a fortnight in 1990 and 1992. And the second time around, we went round about Christmas time. And I remember me and my brother took me to see, Jason, he took me to see Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. So we went to see that. My brother Paul went to see Bram Stoker's Dracula, because this was 1992, remember. Oh my God, 30 years ago, showing the age, 10, 12, 13, however old I was, the first time round, second time around, whatever. But yeah, those were good times. Those were good memories of being in America. The Disney characters, I had this Dick Tracy t-shirt, which I brought back with me, sort of thing. So this was just before Jurassic Park, so we didn't see the Jurassic Park ride or anything like that. But we got to go on Confrontation before that closed, the King Kong ride, and that was an experience in itself. And the movie backlot ride, where the dam comes down, the water comes down, and the trucks at Universal Studios, and where the trucks set on fire, sort of thing, and the water puts it out. But I can't remember what that was called again, but that was such an experience in itself. Eating cereals every morning, kids cereals every morning, sort of thing, Cookie Crisps and stuff like that, being really, really spoiled, sort of thing. Those were the days, weren't they? Those were the days. Also at Universal Studios, I remember seeing like another ride which it featured the alien monster, where it was coming out of like a wall or something like that, and spitting out its mandible tongue thing. And yeah, I do remember that. Like Alien being on a ride as well. What other rides were there? There's quite a few, either in Universal or Disney or Epcot Centre. There was the World of Tomorrow, something like that, which I thought was boring. But I'd appreciate it more now, probably, because they was just trying to predict what the future would look like, etc., etc. But I was just like more into now my Turtle figures and my Game Boy games and just stuff like that. And watching a lot of cartoons as well. Watched a lot of cartoons. I watched a bit of Simpsons here and there. Watched a lot of Disney, Chip and Dale, DuckTales. And there was a DuckTales movie coming out around about the same time, so on the lamp, the magic lamp sort of thing. So in 1990, plus Imagination, that was it. Imagination, whatever it was, the Imagination ride, whatever it was called. We had the wizard, the dragon, and it's a Small World and stuff like that in Disney. Those were classic ones as well. So everybody seems to remember that sort of stuff. And I happen to remember it as well. And we was wearing like neon colours back then, like shell suits, and we had a swimming pool and stuff like that. So, wow, what an amazing time. I've wanted to do this video for a little while now and try to do a montage or something like that, but it's just getting the pictures and stuff like that. But I do remember my time in Florida with my auntie, Margaret, Uncle Alan, and their siblings, sort of thing. And I appreciate the time that you spent with us, sort of thing. And the second time we went around in 1992, around about Christmas time, the Christmas period, was just an amazing experience in itself. So thank you, Mum and Dad, for that. Thank you to my brothers as well. But such an amazing experience being in Disney. I know people go to LA and other kinds of places in America, see the other Disney World. Now they've got Disneyland Paris and stuff like that. But just in general, just the experience in itself was just something that just seemed so magical at the time. And that's the magic word, magical, where you didn't feel threatened. Not that you would feel threatened, unless you're scared of Mickey Mouse or something like that. I'm not sure. But the old experience was just great, and it was fun. It was lively. We saw the parade of like Roger Rabbit, because I love Roger Rabbit. I remember seeing that in the cinema twice in 1988, sorry, twice, and yeah, just an amazing experience. I can't put it down. It was an amazing experience. I think some of my other relatives started to go years after that, and just having a nice house. We had like a suburban like neighborhood in Florida, Orlando, Florida, and I think it had like canals and fishing places near it and stuff like that. And apparently it's where you get, obviously people go fishing, and plus I think you get your gators as well and stuff like that. So that's infamous for Florida. There was like a gator world as well, wasn't there? I think there was, I can't remember. Maybe anybody from Florida can please wise me up on that. But there was a Sea World as well, weren't there? There was so much to do, and like the rides and the franchises, everything based on the films, the TV shows, called with Disney and stuff like that. Snow White, Disney characters, just in itself an amazing, and the word is a magical experience. I know a lot of people have got footage of them from Disney and stuff like that. Fortunately, we haven't got that footage anymore of us in Disneyland or anything like that, in Disney World, etc, etc. Otherwise, I'd put it on this channel and show some bits and pieces off here and there. But if I do manage to find something, I will gladly put it up, and sure my brothers will be all embarrassed. I'm sure I'll be just as embarrassed as well. But I could also try and find some pictures as well, etc. But what an amazing time it was in Disney in Florida. So take care, guys. Thanks for listening. See you soon, and stay safe.